sure you've already noticed we have these lovely posters that represent a few of the thousands of films we've made over the years. We also have a fire station over on the right with all the fire trucks out. That's a real fire station and real firefighters standing between the trucks. We have our own fire station because we're our own little city here. This is Universal City, California. We have our own zip code, 91608, so we're very legit as a city. Our city was founded in 1915 by our company founder, Carl Lemley. Carl founded Universal City to make Universal films here, go figure. We still do that today, along with the other things that we film these days. Commercials, music videos, TV shows, you name it, we can film it. And when we get to the bottom of our timeline in a moment, we're going to enter the front lot of our studio. This is where we have 24 sound stages. We're going to see quite a few of them up close. The first one coming up on the left that you'll see is Soundstage 12. This is currently home to The Voice, all the big live rounds for The Voice filmed in that soundstage. Movies have filmed in there as well, though, over the years. Big high-profile films like How the Grinch Stole Christmas, some of the Whoville scenes filmed in Stage 12. And parts of the climactic finale to Back to the Future filmed in there, too. Sound stages look very unassuming. They almost look like warehouses, but on the inside, a soundstage can be turned into any world a filmmaker wants. On the inside of a soundstage is like a blank canvas in that respect. Okay, so this is the part of the tour where I have to lower my volume because we're very close to these sound stages over on the left-hand side. 5 of them all in a row. Stages 20 down through 16. And even though it is the weekend, we do have some work going on. We have equipment, vehicles parked in front of a few of them. I mentioned one of the NBC comedies that films here on the lot. I mentioned at the start of the tour, Superstore, starring America Ferrera. Superstore films at stages 17 and 16 coming up on the left-hand side here. They've been bound for now filming episodes of their upcoming 4th season. These two sound stages, incidentally, are also two of the oldest buildings on our lot. They date back to 1917, 2 years after Universal City first opened. As we make a turn here on the left, you see a big white building on the left-hand side. That's the Carl Lemley building, named after a company founder. It contains some screening rooms and a big parking garage. It's mostly a parking garage. So we have lots of sound stages on the front lot. And we also have lots of trailers. You see a ton of them coming up on the left-hand side. A lot of these trailers are used by Superstore. Superstore also comes in Soundstage 21 coming up on the left-hand side here. So the trailers parked in front of it, the soundstage, some of them are used as dressing rooms for the cast of the show. Others are used for things like costume storage, office space, hair and makeup. Stage 21 is our second largest soundstage on the lot. Movies are filmed in there as well, like Evan Almighty, Snow White and the Huntsman, and Apollo 13. Mission control scenes for Apollo 13 shot in Stage 21. So trailers, you'll see them all over the lot. As I mentioned, we use them for all kinds of things. They're really handy mobile trailers because this is a massive film studio. We have almost 400 acres of land, so the more mobile we can be, the better. And now I can talk back at full volume. Okay, up next on the right-hand side, we have stages 41 and 42, currently home to the second season of an NBC series called Good Girls. This cluster of sound stages, though, coming up on the right-hand side, has a nickname. Collectively, it's known as Sitcom Alley, because a lot of classic sitcoms from the 1970s and 80s filmed there in these sound stages, like The Jeffersons, The Facts of Life, and Silver Spoons, Who's the Boss? This goes on and on. Also coming up on the right, we have some Minions. I'll explain why the Minions are there in a second. We also pass the Minions have stages 43 and 44. Recently home to The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. The Good Place has some Emmy nominations. The Emmys are this Monday, I believe. Ted Danson got nominated for his work on the show. Stage 44 on the right was also used by a big hit movie called Furious 7. And I actually, one time when Furious 7 was filming in there, I saw the back of Vin Diesel's head. I know! Don't be too impressed, don't be jealous, but it was a magical moment for me. Up next on the right, we have the Bud Westmore building. So this is not a sound stage. We have a lot of sound stages on the front lot, but we have other buildings that handle other areas of production. Like the Bud Westmore building. So this building was named after a legendary makeup man who worked here for many years. But in the building, the Westmore building, they build sets that go into our sound stages and out into the back lots, as we'll see later on in the tour. They have a staff shop where they can custom build props, and a metal shop where they just listen to Metallica and Slipknot all day. Not kidding. A metal shop where they make metal things for the studio. Over on the left-hand side, we have these bungalows. These are offices for production companies like Illumination Entertainment. They made the Despicable Me films and Minions. So the Minions sign that we saw back there, that was a sign pointing the way to the bungalow offices of Illumination over here. These bungalows used to be really fancy dressing rooms before we started using trailers. These were dressing rooms for big movie stars like Doris Day, Paul Newman, and Rock Hudson. Past the bungalows on the left, you'll see the side of Stage 22, currently home to the 10th season of Will and Grace. They've been in there filming for their upcoming 10th season for a little over a month now. We have the parking spaces on the left you can see reserved for people who work on that show. Stage 22, though, is part of a bigger building that consists of 2 sound stages. Stage 23 is the other one. Currently home to a new TV show called I Feel Bad, and then also office space in the front here. As we round the corner, though, on the left, we'll pass by the side of Stage 23. On the right-hand side, you'll see the visuals start to change pretty dramatically because we've now officially entered the back lot of our studio. So the back lot is where we keep all of our big exterior sets. It's where we film things on a massive scale. And this first part of the back lot we're going to check out coming up on the right are the Metropolitan sets. We call these the Metro sets for short. And with the Metro sets, we give filmmakers lots of different options in terms of city settings. So just within a few acres of land, we have lots for filmmakers to choose from. We also have some trailers parked here and there. This is kind of the backstage area for the TV show I Feel Bad. The trailers are. But we also, coming up on the right, have what we call Brownstone Street. Lots of famous faces walked up and down this Brownstone Street. Next on the Metro sets, we're going to visit Courthouse Square. If we have any fans of the Back to the Future films on board, you'll know this as Hill Valley in Back to the Future. So over the left-hand side, that courthouse was the clock tower in Back to the Future. Clock tower was, of course, struck by lightning back in good old 1975. 75? 55. Sorry, guys. Lots of other movies have filmed in Courthouse Square, though, over the years. Here's a few examples. There's Psycho 2, the classic film To Kill a Mockingbird, filmed here as well. There's a big riot in Courthouse Square for Bruce Almighty. And this was once the futuristic world of 2015 and Back to the Future 2. So we'll all have flying cars, hoverboards. Oh my goodness, I can't wait till 2015, you guys. It's going to be so dope. Now, about a week ago, well, maybe a week and a half ago, Will and Grace was filming here in Courthouse Square. They did not feature the courthouse. They filmed more on the right-hand side, but it still counts as Courthouse Square. Now we're going to make like a tree and get out of here. Next stop on the Metro sets is New York Street. My co-host for the tour, Mr. Jimmy Fallon, lives in the real New York, so he's going to talk about what it's like filming there.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. I always got mugged over there by an old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Yeah, we got our own New York City in Southern California. It's so convenient. Big hit movies are filmed on this New York street, like Captain America, The First Avenger, The Amazing Spider-Man, and The Fate of the Furious. Also TV shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Key and Peele, Criminal Minds, American Ninja Warrior. That show's filmed 3 episodes on this New York street. They set up their big obstacle course here. And a lot of these sets we're looking at on New York Street are what we call facades. That's a kind of set where we only build the front and the sides of the structure because that's all we need to build. We just build what the camera sees, and then the audience will fill in the rest with their imagination. And the set also has an interior, so we can film inside and out. That's called a practical set. We do have a few practical sets on New York Street here and there. Also coming up on the left, you can see the opera Carmen is going to be playing at this theater. What a treat! Very classic. So anytime you see something like that, like a poster on our sets, shop names like the threaded window coming up on the left-hand side there, that is set decoration left behind by a previous production. Because when something films on New York Street, you have to put shop names on the facades to make it come alive and feel like a real New York City street. So as long as the set decoration does not impede the next production that comes in. We'll just leave it up for a while. The Carmen posters have been there for quite a while. The Threaded Window, that shop name was specifically added for one of my favorite TV shows, The Mindy Project, starring Mindy Kaling. That show wrapped up filming for their 6th and final season about a year ago. So the Threaded Window has been there ever since. In terms of set decoration, we can really go all out and dress up New York Street to look like other cities, if need be. For instance, in the television special Hairspray Live, based on the Tony-winning musical, New York Street here was dressed up to look like Baltimore. Hairspray Live star Jennifer Hudson and Ariana Grande.
Good morning, Baltimore. Every day's like an open door. 16.
Sweet Edna.
Hairspray Live is a really awesome showcase for the Metro sets. All right, now we're going to leave our beautiful Metro sets behind. And up next on our screens, we're going to hear from an Oscar-winning filmmaker named Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up with adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Also, please be sure to hold on to your personal belongings and remain seated. We will be heading into Skull Island in a few moments. First, though, we'll hear a little more from director Peter Jackson.
The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife in Skull Island. We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of nature battles.
Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. We're so sure.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Skull Island.
We're so sure.
Okay, glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Tours. That was all created for us by Peter Jackson and a team of people at Wedded Digital. That's a special effects company that has won 6 Academy Awards for work on movies like The Jungle Book. They also worked on a recent like Avengers Infinity War and The Last Jedi. And they added some spiders into King Kong 360 3D. Did anybody notice the giant spiders? Yeah, they were pretty scary. Those spiders were an homage to the original King Kong, the movie that came out in 1933. When that movie was being tested for test audiences before it went into a wide release, there was a scene involving giant spiders, and the test audiences could not handle it. It was too much for them. Some people fainted. It was just too scary. It's totally fake, and then we get the fake rain to go with it. This is how filmmakers come out of thunderstorm on a very sunny day. So the rain is coming out of sprinklers. They're placed on the tops of poles all over the set. The thunder is coming out of speakers that are built into the sets all around us. And the lightning flashes are coming from strobe lights. So the raindrops are larger than real raindrops would be. Real raindrops are so small, they don't really show up on camera too well. They're often invisible on camera, so if it's really raining, that's not very helpful. We would still need fake rain. Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. That looks like a flash flood headed for the tram. Oh, that was a big one. That same flash flood was featured in the movie Big Fat Liar.
You can't run a wolf cat! You gotta look into that. Lilo, motherfucker! Funny
All right, we're zooming through another part of Old Mexico that's been featured in TV shows like Criminal Minds Beyond Borders and movies like Nacho Libre. We're going to go from Old Mexico into the Old West. Up next, we have 6 Points, Texas. These are Western sets where classic Westerns are filmed, like Winchester 73 with Jimmy Stewart and My Little Chickadee with Mae West and W.C. Fields. And a little over a month ago, we had a big Top Secret movie filming here. It was all very hush-hush, very intriguing. And our Western sets have so much history. I mean, the whole lot has a lot of history to it, of course, but Universal Studios and Westerns go way, way back to when we first opened Universal City in 1915, which brings me back to our company founder, Carl Lemley. So I'll show you some photos of Carl. A lot of these are opening day photos from when Universal City kicked off on March 15, 1915. There's Carl with the key to the city. So when Carl opened up Universal City, from day one, he actually invited in the general public to get a behind-the-scenes look at how movies get made. In those early days, it cost $0.25, and for $0.25, you got a boxed lunch, and then you got to watch silent movies as they were being filmed. It was almost like live theater, and often you'd be watching Westerns. That was pretty much our studio's bread and butter back then. So all these people on our screens, these are members of the general public. They're basically your counterparts 103 years ago. Look at this. They're just wandering around. No stanchions, no lines, just kind of freely moving about. So it was a pretty loosey-goosey structure to inviting in the public back then, because, silent movies, meant that if you as a member of the public were watching the movie being filmed, you could make noise. It wouldn't be an issue, because it was a silent film, of course. Then when sound film came in, we had to do away with that kind of informal version of bringing in the public, but we came up with the modern studio tour. So Carl Lemley's idea to bring in the public in 1915 was very ahead of its time, because we're still doing it today. All right, now as we head out of the Old West, I get to remind everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. Again, the studio is private property, so if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention, and I'll be back to assist you, but do remain seated on the tram. Over on the left-hand side now, we have a lovely body of water. They've really recently added some lovely fountains to this body of water, spicing it up, but this is what we call Park Lake. Park Lake was the Black Lagoon in the film The Creature from the Black Lagoon, minus the fountains. Park Lake is man-made. It's not a natural lake. We put it there for filmmaking purposes. So they just added those fountains a couple days ago. Also fairly recently, they re-landscaped the perimeter, so it looks really gorgeous. Past the lake and the trees on the left, you'll see some satellite dishes. We use those for some of our local NBC Universal TV networks like NBC4LA and Telemundo. And up next to the right, we're going to visit Little Europe, so called because these sets can be any European country a filmmaker wants. We just change up the set decoration. But Little Europe can be places outside of Europe. Currently on the NBC comedy series The Good Place, Little Europe is the afterlife. And The Good Place was filmed here just a couple weeks ago for their upcoming third season, so all their set decoration is still up. There's a lot of funny stuff. Read the shop names. A lot of frozen yogurt shops, a lot of punny shop names as well. It's very funny stuff. And here's a montage from The Good Place on our screen. See if you can spot Little Europe here.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
There's also quite a bit of history in Little Europe because many of our classic Universal monster movies filmed here back in the 1930s and 40s. Movies like Frankenstein, Dracula, and The Wolfman. Little Europe was also the make-believe country of Genovia in Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, and it was Port Royal in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Up next on your left-hand side, we have a tall wooden fence. So a house as well. This is all a set. Ooh, some lovely flowers. This is all a set for a talk show called Home and Family. It airs on the Hallmark Channel. It's hosted by Debbie McNopoulos. So they have a little front yard as well with some fall foliage on the grass. Fake fall foliage. Our leaves don't change color too much in SoCal. But Home and Family films over there most weekdays. If they were filming right now, this would be one of those moments on the tour where I would have to actually totally go off the microphone so we don't disturb them. That's called a quiet.
The race day after party, and where the other? Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over. You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not. You're under arrest right now. Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. Slightly. First of all, I don't work for you. Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for? We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety. Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun. Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. That ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family protects you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate. Sure, Trace does. I just can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
This is Dom. Sean's trying to bust into the parking structure. Might have to make a run for it. Tell your passengers to hang on.
Okay, hang on, everybody.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our television.